Good morning, I'm Brett Forsberg. I'm with Keith Werner over here in Indiana. We're looking at some work we're doing in tomatoes. We've got several extra things that we're doing here as far as in-furrow treatments and side dress treatments, fertigation treatments, and we're just kind of evaluating our overall program today and looking at amount of tomatoes that we've got set at this point, consistency and bulk of our plants, and we're going to dig up a few plants and look at roots as well and health of the plants. So we've got a pretty stark visual difference already between our treated and our untreated, and we're just going to do a little further looking at some of those things.
Yeah,
a lot of roots under there. We're going to have to get another go so we don't break it off while we're digging it.
Yeah, it's all tumbled up in there.
A lot of vine in it.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. So despite what we chopped off and broke off in the soil, we've got a really nice amount of roots under that plant. Got a really nice white color, light colored. So we got a healthy, really growing our roots, getting a really nice base to build our crop on here. One of the things that we looked at early in the season that we noticed was our stem diameter. We were picking up a little bit of improvement in our stem. So roots and stem size early gives us more capacity as we get into filling our fruit later in the season. So that was something really encouraging to see early on. And when we get over into our check, I think you'll really see that difference, not only in what we're looking at stem size, but what we see under the plant as well. So that's really, really encouraging to see that much root under there. And as we're digging, to see that it's out from the plant that far. That's really nice. So we've definitely made some good improvements so far. Another thing that we're working on is our fruit set in the top. So we're trying to kind of build a fruit set that's consistent, or as consistent in size as we can try to manipulate it to be consistent in size. And I think we'll see that too on the other side when we get over there, that we've already got some bigger variances in the sizing of our fruit set. So that should be really interesting to see when we get over there. But so far I'm really encouraged. We're still flowering and we're still putting on some tomatoes out here. And so that's kind of like soybeans, where there's not an exact window where everything happens as far as pods, but we are trying to have an influence there to keep that window close, and that way when we get around to harvest time, we're trying to avoid some of the issues that come in with some small tomatoes and immature or over mature, where they get sun scald and burst their skin and those kind of things. So just trying to manage out a few steps in front of us now. If we can kind of build our healthy plant and our healthy root to support everything now, later on we'll have those things in place to help us, and it won't be a rescue issue. We'll have that problem hopefully at least partially addressed, if not fixed. So we've moved over from our treated area into our check. There are several differences here, not only in the fertigation, but the side dress program, the in-furrow program. So we are looking at several steps into the program. So it's not just a one treatment or a change in one practice. We're dealing with several things here. But as you kind of look out at the volume of plants, and all also the color of the plants. We're picking up quite a bit more yellow as we've moved into our untreated area versus where we were just at. And if we if we took time and really wanted to dig around in it, there's going to be a little bit of change in our leaf size and our stem size. So we're going to dig up some roots and kind of take a look at that next. We do have kind of a change in our root structure there, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, we weren't seeing near as much of some of these just slight discolorings, where the leaves just aren't as healthy. We're just kind of getting into that. So, and the same thing in corn and soybeans, where all of a sudden we're putting a fruit load onto the plants and we start draining resources back from the leaves and stalks and roots. That's when a lot of diseases really start setting into the plants. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that side of it, or that aspect of the disease pressure going forward. Should be super interesting, actually.
So we've been fertigating, I would say, for probably about close to, well, ever since we started working with Brett and Roger and the Forsberg team, and I would say it's probably been close to 8 to 10 years now, and we've seen huge advantages from splitting up our nitrogen instead of just one shot on the planter and one shot at side dress and then just calling it quits for the year, versus dialing our side dress rate back and splitting that nitrogen up and adding more micronutrients through the pivot. And the yield advantage has just been tremendous. And basically we came to the Forsberg and Logan team and said, why can't we do what we do on corn and soybeans and implement that on the tomatoes? And from the results that we're seeing this year, it's been huge.